What's good? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bits for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. This week, it's the next AirPods, AirPower, and a whole lot more. Now, if you're new to this channel and my new home on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can ring-a-ling-a-ding-tong and keep getting all the good stuff. Okay, this just in, a new report from The Information says Apple is considering creating a single subscription offering that would include all of its content offerings from music to exclusive shows and magazines, similar to something like Amazon's Prime service, but without the awesome free 2-day shipping. So, kinda as good? Now, Apple's digital news service will be launching next year, combining Apple News and digital magazines thanks to their acquisition of Texture in March. Apple Music's 40 million paying subscribers has been a big boost for them, even if they've tried to oddly squeeze in exclusive content inside of it. Apple will also reportedly still allow people to sign up for the services individually, and Apple's been signing deals with top-tier talent like Oprah, Sesame Workshop, and the Obamas to create new content thanks to their $1 billion budget, which is still tiny but significant. And then you compare it to Amazon's $5 billion or Netflix's $8 billion plus budget. Okay, so that's the lead story, the latest one, but let's get started with this one, the big, just way out there story of the week, and then we'll come back to earth as we get through the show. Take this one with a grain of salt right now, but the Nikkei Asian Review is reporting that users will soon be able to wirelessly charge their iPhones using the AirPods charging case. Say what? So it could look something like this, or this, which doesn't look at all that different from this. Ugh. Now, the report claims the charging case could be available as soon as this year. Maybe something in this report is lost in translation. It's just bizarre and honestly sounds crazy unless it's actually true. Now, in a report we can actually believe, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman recently detailed the delays for Apple's wireless charging AirPower Mat. One of the biggest issues, packing the AirPower with multiple charging sensors based on their own custom charging technology that's also integrated with the Qi charging standard. Now, the report says it's a difficult device to complete because the AirPower requires different size charging components for the 3 different devices. You know, the iPhone, Apple Watch, and new wireless charging AirPods case. The AirPower is also running a stripped-down version of iOS on a custom Apple chip to help conduct on-device power management and pairing, which sounds pretty awesome. Now, Gurman says engineers had hoped to launch it in June for this year, but the target is to now put them on sale before or in September. See, it's just another Apple product that will see the light of day more than 9 months after its initial announcement. Like, let's see, the HomePod, the AirPods, and even features an iOS 11. See, Apple's next new product keynote should really just be teased as, we're expecting, because you know it's gonna be at least 9 months before it sees the light of day, and that's a bad Apple. Now, Gurman's report also says that Apple considered removing the Lightning port from the iPhone X so that it could only be charged and synced wirelessly. He says during development, Apple weighed the decision with the 10, but it wasn't feasible because wireless charging was still slower than traditional methods, and including a wireless charger with a new phone would raise the price significantly, you know, higher than the $1,000 price tag. He also added that Apple's hope is to remove most of the external ports and buttons on the iPhone. Remember, even a few years ago, Johnny Ive reportedly envisioned the iPhone of the future as a single sheet of glass, so the removal of the Lightning port and even more shouldn't really come as a surprise to us in the future. Which then takes us back to our first story. Beyond a charging mat like the AirPower, if Apple's already been planning to take out Lightning, is it that far of a reach to think that Apple could be building something, whether it's this AirPods charging case or something else similar to it as a charging station of their own down the road? Maybe it's not so crazy. Okay, sticking with the AirPods, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman also reports this week that Apple is planning to go ham with its audio devices. Now, the Cupertino kids are planning higher-end AirPods, an all-new HomePod, and studio quality over-the-ear headphones for as early as next year. That's a whole lot. The next-gen AirPods are looking to bring noise cancellation and water resistance. You won't be swimming with them though, it's only for rain or sweat resistance. They're also increasing the range. They can work away from an iPhone or iPad. Mine still break up with the phone in my pocket, so come on, this has to get better. Now, they're targeting 2019 with a higher price point than the current $159 AirPods. Apple has also internally discussed bringing biometric sensors like a heart rate monitor, making it potentially the second product to have it alongside the Apple Watch. Now, these improvements I can 100% get behind, but Apple, how about a basic touch functionality to slide the volume up or down on the stems, something that I've asked for since day one. And let the naming games begin. Like, what will they call them? The AirPods 2? That's basic. What about the AirPods Plus? You know, you down with APP? Yeah, you know me. What would you call them? You know, put them in the comments, and let's keep them PG-13 because my mom reads them. Okay, over-the-ear headphones are also coming in 2019 to compete with the likes of Bose, Sony, and others with Apple's branding, and they're positioning them as a higher-end alternative to Beats. Bloomberg had reported in March that they were trying to release them this year, but development challenges have pushed them to next year. But that's not all, folks. Apple is working on a new HomePod for as early as next year. Now, could this be the long-rumored HomePod Mini or a second-gen HomePod? But see, the number one thing that needs to be updated on the HomePod isn't the sound, it's Siri. And until it gets better, it's going to be a great-sounding Apple Music speaker for $349. And in a really just bad Apple turned kind of good Apple, but one that makes me still a sad Apple, after a couple years of complaints, 3 recent class action lawsuits, and a change.org petition with over 31,000 signatures, Apple is finally launching a repair program for the faulty MacBook and MacBook Pro designed butterfly keys that resulted in letters or characters not appearing or keys that felt sticky and didn't respond. Now, you can't just pop out the individual keys or replace the keyboard itself. You have to replace the entire assembly that includes the keyboard, the battery, and the upper metal case that surrounds the keyboard and Thunderbolt 3 ports. Now, Apple says it only affects a small percentage of keyboards from 2015 to 2017, but it's honestly a lot bigger than small. Just own up and stop trying to minimize it like you did for the past 2 years, maybe like the iPhone Bendgate or the battery issues. Just own up to it. Like, we'd really appreciate it. And just like the iPhone, many people were forced to pay for out-of-warranty repairs, but for MacBooks, in some cases, it cost $500 or higher. And if you want to check this out, contact Apple directly to inquire about a refund. Now, here's the list of eligible models that qualify for replacement. And, this just hurts to look at. Is it over now? Can I look? Yeah? I mean, come on. That was ugly. And were you affected by this? Because you got to let me know so we can see how small it really was. Now, I will always give credit to Apple for finally stepping up and taking care of it, but if there wasn't so much public pressure, it makes me wonder if they would have done it. Would they have come out? Because I don't think we would have ever heard the real truth about the iPhone's Bendgate if it wasn't revealed in the class action lawsuit. Alright, that's going to do it for this week. If you want to really go deep with everything Apple, you can check out my Apple Bits XL audio podcast on iTunes and Stitcher and SoundCloud, and really every platform you can think of, including the new Google Podcast app. And if you want to help support me on this new independent journey, hey, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/BrianTong. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Be safe. Peace.